The holiday season is here, and that means many of us will be gorging on all sorts of sweets. But for diabetics, that can spell trouble. In tonight's Wear the Gown, KENS 5 reporter Jeremy Baker looks at ways to combat the disease.
Diabetes is one of those insidious diseases because at the onset you don't initially have symptoms, but as the disease progresses, the disease begins to unknowingly ravage the body.
The sooner you know that you have diabetes, the sooner you can be put on the appropriate medicines or other interventions to try to delay or prevent some of the serious complications associated with diabetes.
But you don't just contract type 2 overnight. There's an intermediate phase called prediabetes, where the blood sugar isn't high enough to register as the full disease.
And these individuals with prediabetes are at great risk over the next 5 years to go on to develop diabetes.
Roughly 37 million Americans, or about 11% of the population, is said to have diabetes. Here in Texas, the prevalence of the disease is about 12%, making Texas the 8th most frequent state with respect to the disease. One of the reasons is because 36% of the population is said to be obese, which is a huge risk factor.
And then there are certain racial and ethnic groups that tend to have a higher prevalence. African Americans, Hispanics, Asian Americans, and Native Americans.
Other risk factors include age, especially those 45 years or older, family history, lack of physical activity, poor diet, and overuse of alcohol.
It is a carbohydrate. Not only does alcohol contribute directly, but indirectly through increasing our fat over the long term in the body.
To find out more information about diabetes and what the National Institutes of Health are doing to combat the disease, we have the links with this story on KENS5.com. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.